What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, July 6th, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 15:34 Eastern Time here in the United States. I wanted to update you with all the latest breaking news that I have from around the world. So China says that it successfully conducted a test launch of a nuclear-capable long-range ballistic missile from a submarine in the South Pacific. And what's interesting about this is that the test happened just a few hours after Australia and Fiji signed the Ocean of Peace Alliance, committing to respond if either one is attacked. So a mutual defense pact was signed between Australia and Fiji, and just a few hours after that, China launched this submarine-launched ballistic missile, and apparently it actually flew near the Luzon Island in the Philippines. So the Taiwanese Secretary General of the National Security Council, Joseph Wu, said that the trajectory of the test launch passed just north of the Philippines' Luzon Island, calling the move a provocation. Interesting. So China trying to send a message to Australia, Fiji, the Philippines, Japan, every country in the region with this test launch. And here you can actually see a picture showing this missile being launched from the submarine. And Taiwan's government released a statement yesterday stating it is seeing an upward trend in Chinese naval activity, including joint drills with Russia. And a Russian patrol aircraft staged unsafe activity near the UK's flagship aircraft carrier as it conducted NATO air defense operations off of Iceland, Britain's defense ministry said on Monday. The Bear F plane repeatedly approached the carrier group last week, passing the HMS Prince of Wales aircraft carrier unnecessarily close at low altitude and dropping numerous sonar devices nearby, according to the ministry. 2 UK F-35 warplanes were dispatched from the carrier to intercept and escort the patrol plane until it departed, it said in a statement. This activity was unsafe and unprofessional, a ministry spokesperson said of Thursday's incident in the Norwegian Sea. So this was last Thursday, July the 2nd, and here you can see a picture of this Russian recon or patrol aircraft. It's some kind of variant of their Bear bomber, and it dropped sonar devices, okay? And there you can see the F-35 intercepting it. So Russia is testing NATO big time. And Poland's defense minister announced today that several thousand U.S. soldiers will arrive in Poland within the coming weeks, as the U.S. has committed to resuming its rotation of combat forces on NATO's eastern front. The announcement comes amid reports that Russia is preparing to carry out armed provocations against Poland and other countries in Eastern Europe in an effort to test NATO's resolves. So this is very concerning. Looks like something is about to go down in Eastern Europe. We do have the NATO summit tomorrow and Wednesday, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Trump is going to be going there to Ankara, Turkey. And what's really crazy is that just a day after Putin spoke with Trump on the phone, Russia launched this massive attack on Ukraine, which was last night, and I'm going to get into that in just a minute here. Okay, but Putin is planning something big. All the intelligence indicates that he may potentially attack Ukraine from the northern direction through Belarus, potentially making a go at the capital of Ukraine a second time. And then the other intelligence coming out of the U.S. is saying that they may cross into Poland from Belarus. They may actually invade Poland or parts of Poland or launch missiles and drones at Poland. So this is getting very, very serious. And Cuba's national power grid collapsed today, leaving 10 million people without electricity. Officials in Cuba say the cause is still under investigation, so absolutely no electricity on the entire island of Cuba. And Germany is going to be borrowing almost $1 trillion by 2030 for massive military expansion, specifically 800 billion euros. Berlin's historic departure from decades of fiscal conservatism will fund a vast military rearmament program, pushing German defense spending to levels unseen since the Cold War. Wow, that is very, very serious, guys. Unseen since the Cold War. Okay, almost $1 trillion. And the massive attack on Ukraine last night has so far killed 11 civilians and injured 60. Russia hit Kyiv, the capital, overnight with 29 missiles, including 23 Iskander ballistic missiles and 6 Zircon hypersonic missiles. Ukraine has now confirmed that they intercepted none of them because they ran out of Patriot interceptors. So I want to read to you the official statement from Zelensky, but the war is escalating, guys. Ukraine is striking deeper and deeper into Russia, causing a fuel crisis in Russia. And now Ukraine has run out of interceptors, so Russia is striking downtown Kyiv. They're going right after residential buildings. So the situation in Ukraine is now rapidly escalating, okay? And this is what Zelensky said. He said, last night, Kyiv came under a massive Russian attack. Russia launched 68 missiles and 351 attack drones. Response efforts are still underway. Damage has been recorded at more than 10 locations across the city, including residential buildings. As of now, it has been confirmed that tragically 11 people were killed in this attack. Around 60 more people were injured. Our warriors performed well today in intercepting drones and cruise missiles, but unfortunately not Russian ballistic missiles. And the reason lies in the insufficient supply of interceptor missiles. Okay, so he's confirming there that they have run out of interceptor missiles. And Russian sources claim several videos are showing the aftermath of Russian strikes on the Vizar machine building plant in the Kyiv region, a critical Ukrainian aviation industry facility that produces guided surface-to-air missiles, including reportedly Neptune missiles. Russia previously struck the same plant in April of 2022 in the opening days of the war. And here's one video showing supposedly the strike. And Ukrainian attack drones struck the critical fuel and oil terminal at the Russian-occupied Crimean port of Kerch again overnight, setting the facility ablaze. And Ukrainian drone manufacturer Firepoint revealed a new variant of their FP1 drone capable of hitting targets at a distance of more than 2,000 miles away. Wow. And overnight, Ukrainian attack drones carried out one of the deepest raids of the war, hitting Russia's largest oil refinery, the Omsk oil refinery, over 1,500 miles from the front line. Absolutely insane. And that's right here. You can see all the plumes of smoke here, 1,500 miles away. Absolutely insane. And a classified European intelligence report warns that Russia's banking sector is buckling under the immense financial burden of Russia's war economy as the EU prepares a new round of sanctions. And Russian media is reporting that Gazprom, that's the state-owned oil and gas company in Russia, and the largest company in Russia by market capitalization, has reached an agreement with the Russian military to create anti-drone mobile fire groups to protect Gazprom's oil and gas supply facilities. Contractors who volunteer would reportedly sign a 3-year contract with Russia's mobilization reserve and would receive employment payments from Gazprom as well as payments from the Russian military. Mobile fire groups are small, light infantry teams typically operating from pickup trucks with small arms or light machine guns mounted on the vehicle, designed to be quick and maneuverable to counter long-range drone attacks. Wow. And Netanyahu asked Trump to block U.S. arms sales to Turkey that would upgrade Turkey's Air Force. Okay, so Turkey wants to get F-35s from us. And here's a picture showing one of the apartment buildings that was hit. You can see this whole block was just completely destroyed. Okay, direct impact with a massive warhead. Okay, it looks like, you know, probably 24 apartments destroyed here, several floors, okay, in Kyiv. So Russia is, you know, getting really backed into a corner, I guess you could say, by Ukraine and Europe, and Putin may lash out and do something crazy. And the British Maritime Trade Organization has released its latest Joint Maritime Information Advisory, announcing an expanded southern transit corridor through the Strait of Hormuz. Interesting. While use of the corridor and coordination with authorities remains voluntary, vessels are advised the route is open 24 hours a day. The bulletin also encourages ships to keep AIS active, that's the tracking, maintain radar and navigation lights, and continuously monitor VHF radio. Okay, so there's a new transit route through the Strait of Hormuz, but it's not going to really do much until the U.S. goes in and really clears out the Iranian military. And the U.S. Navy said that it suspended its search for a missing sailor in the Arabian Sea, and that was the helicopter that went down from one of our carriers. So that's pretty sad news. And multiple Russian-aligned influencers, such as Jackson Hinkle and Max Blumenthal, attended the Ayatollah Khamenei funeral in Iran today. And here we actually have some video footage coming from the funeral showing people throwing stones and objects at a banner of Trump, shouting "Death to America." So yeah, Trump is not popular over there in Iran, so very concerning. Although there is a large amount of Iranians that do not want the Ayatollah regime in power, but they tend to show these videos to make it seem like most Iranians are against Trump and the U.S., but actually most Iranians are probably pro-U.S. Okay, and here's the picture of Jackson Hinkle and this guy Blumenthal, both jackasses, going to the Khamenei funeral. Morons. And the founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, says he found a hidden listening device in his home office and has filed a criminal complaint with authorities in Geneva. And the Greek and Israeli Air Forces conducted a joint aerial exercise over the island of Crete in southern Greece on Monday, involving Greek F-16 fighter jets and Israeli aerial refueling aircraft. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, they're getting prepared for something. And a message from YouTube to its content creators in the UK has been verified, warning the UK government will force them to push mainstream media outlets like the BBC, ITV, and Channel 4 over independent commentators and journalists. So here's what they're saying here, okay, that basically they're going to downrank content that is any kind of independent media. People like myself in the UK are going to be downrated, and YouTube is only going to force the mainstream media, okay, which they're basically already doing that here in the US. That's a new policy that they have here in the US. That's why my views have crashed so much, and a lot of independent media creators, their views have crashed because YouTube is now just promoting mainstream media channels, okay? And Microsoft laid off 2.1% of its global workforce, about 4,800 workers. The largest department hit is Xbox with around 1,600 layoffs. Wow. And the preliminary hearing in the murder case of Charlie Kirk is now underway in Utah. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, is in the courtroom where she is expected to come face to face with the man accused of murdering her husband, Tyler Robinson. And Bush Jr. turned 80 years old today. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on tonight with another update, possibly a live update. Consider joining my Patreon for exclusive updates and stuff you won't find here on YouTube. Also, all the updates on Patreon are posted first, so they get priority, and there's no advertisements. And my Patreon is patreon.com/NYPrepper. The link is in the description below this video. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.